Hello and welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. My name is Don Pelto and I have Mr. Wessel here. Wes, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad to be here.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about this thing I've really never heard of, and I consider myself up. It's called Earned Retention Credit, or ERC. Well, tell me a little bit about what this is.
You may recall a few years ago during the pandemic, the Congress passed a law and they had their payroll protection plan, the PPP, which was largely handled by banks. They also put $400 billion aside for the employer retention credit, and it's aimed at small businesses that retain their employees during 20 and 21. So originally it was for companies with less than 100 people that had a loss of revenue of 50% over 2019, and that did not take PPP. So nobody qualified. So then in 2021, they raised the bar to 500 employees, and they only lowered the revenue requirement by 20%, and still nobody qualified. So at the end of 2021, they changed the rules and said, okay, if you took PPP, you could qualify for this. And you could qualify based on supply chain or disruption stuff. So I would think every podiatrist out there would qualify based on a lot of the things are elective surgeries, and hospitals and mandates were changing the rules in the way they could run their practices. And the reward is for 2020, it's $5,000 per employee for 1 quarter, and it's $7,000 per employee in 2021 for 3 quarters, or a total of 26,000. That was while you could still count your PPP money. When they changed the rules, it allowed you to use PPP. People are averaging about $15,000 per employee. So a practice with 10 employees would generate about $150,000 to $160,000 in tax refund. And it's actually a refund of payroll taxes and some of payroll that gets credited back to your account. So what we do is ERC Specialist is a specialty CPA firm that processes these complicated tax returns. So we have a survey that we can send out to you. You can do the survey and simply upload your payroll documents for those years for 2020 and 2021, your 941s and payroll report. And this company will process the amended return and get it ready for filing and send it to you with the exact amount of the filing. And then each doctor or each office can elect to either pay a fee of 15% when they get the money. If they don't ever get any money, they never pay a dime. Or they can pay 10% when they file and get just a third reduction on the cost of it. And the money that comes from the IRS is not taxable, except that they have to go back and amend their 1040 return to reflect the fact that they lost the deduction for whatever quarter they get the money in. So the money is not taxable. I've been a financial professional for 50 plus years. And when I first saw this, I thought, this is too good to be true, which most people, when they hear about it, they think it is. But it is true. We're seeing tens of millions of dollars come back. Some companies getting $1 million, $2 million, $3 million coming back from this retention credit. It's just really amazing. The only risk in this whole deal is not applying, because if you don't apply, you probably won't. You won't get any money back. But if you do, there's a good chance you'll get a substantial sum of money for your practice.
And Wes, I think so. One would be not applying. The second one would be doing it yourself, right? Because if you do it the wrong way, because it's kind of hard to do it on your own, right?
It is, and ERC Specialist is getting 20 to 50% more money back than even CPA firms that are not, accustomed to filing this. This is a 941 lane type deal, not a 1040, and most CPAs are in the 1040 lane. And so they're not, I've had some CPA firms actually use us as a back office, and we do all the processing for them. And the process is pretty largely automated too, so it makes it good.
Now explain, just to kind of simplify it now. So the doctors, they have their own practice. Do they have to like think if they've had a reduction in X amount of dollars to even apply for this, or can just everyone apply and you don't have to think of anything prior to applying? How does that work? What do I have to think of? We'll have to go, because for me, okay, Don, you have to go look at your numbers of the previous years. Did you drop so much percentage? Is that what I have to do, or can I just apply? Anyone can apply.
Well, try to create an example. If surgeries were over 10% of your practice in 2019, and then you were restricted on doing surgeries in 2020, then essentially you're going to be able to qualify for it based on that. And then the other qualification would be, did you have any supply chain issues in terms of getting supplies and things that you need for your practice? You had to get
we couldn't get lidocaine. We couldn't get a ton of stuff in our office. Yeah.
Those are the things that would qualify it. So really all the doctor would need to do is put a narrative in the file of the things that they couldn't get and keep that in case of an audit. But the numbers part of it are not auditable, because you're going to actually submit numbers to the IRS that they already have, because you've already filed the report, the 941s, and paid the taxes. So they're going to see those numbers. They're going to say, okay, we're granting this refund to you. And they literally send the office a letter and say, you overpaid your taxes for, let's say, the fourth quarter of 2020 and by X amount. And then the next week, they send a check out to zero out that credit balance. And believe it or not, they're paying interest on that money.
And so the main thing is people don't know about this. So you have to get the word out, because is the door going to be closed? Like is there a filing date? Like you have to do it within a year, 2 years, or how long is it? It seems like the money's like raining. How long is it going to rain?
Yeah, the numbers we're seeing, the dates are till September of 2025. Although the sooner somebody applies, the better it is. We're seeing checks come back for companies that applied in June and July. Some of them in early August, they're already getting their monies back from the IRS. They're advertising a longer period of time than that. For some reason, a lot of these are coming back, which makes people pretty happy. It's money that's on the table, and I just hate to see anyone leave it sitting on the table when they could claim it and let somebody else have it.
Yeah. What's your background? Is it like in accounting, or is it in what's your background? Like, how did you get into? Is this your company, or like how did the company get started? Is this a company that's done this, or just popped up because of this opportunity?
I'm an affiliate of ERC Specialists. They're a 40-plus-year-old accounting firm that when they saw this opportunity, they staffed up. They have several hundred employees now and all they do is process the ERC. They have processed to date, and I heard this about 2 weeks ago, over $5.5 billion on over 35,000 companies.
Oh, wow.
So, anytime government does something like this, they have to have private partners to carry it off. For example, when they did the PPP, the banks made all the loans and they distributed the money. So now several companies have stepped up and they're doing the processing to do this. Of course, CPAs can do this, but we're finding probably 8 out of 10 CPAs are not doing this. It's a pretty complicated deal. They're staffed to do other things, and they don't want to hire new employees to do this for a year or two and then not have work for those people.
Yeah, and also it's like asking us to do, we do bunion surgery, and you all of a sudden try to do a different type of surgery. You don't know how to do it. You haven't done it. You probably could do it, but you'd fumble your way through it. Same thing.
Yep.
Well, good. I see the website, it's ercspecialist.com, and that's the website, but we're going to put a special code underneath this video and audio for people that are interested, just kind of a direct link. But thank you for explaining everything, Wes. I don't have any questions. It's pretty straightforward. So thank you for your time.
You're welcome. And Mike will get you the exact code that you need. Be sure that people have that. And that way we're able to help them on the back end of it if they have questions or whatever.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good.
So let me show this website. This is ERC Specialist. So just so you know, they didn't offer me anything. It's just something I thought was interesting. I wish I could be an affiliate for this, but I'm not. It's just something I didn't know existed, so I'm sharing it with you guys. So here's our website. So basically find out if you qualify, what is ERC, whether they're specialists or an accounting firm and stuff like that. And the link I'll give you, it'll probably have the same thing about begin to qualify, and you'll put in your information. So it pops up another, like an app where you put in your application stuff. And they've done many, many thousand things for this. It's the employee retention credit, which we talked about. There's so much available during this time. And it's this is a refund, and so it's like a credit versus like a loan. You're not getting any money. So here's are all the ones that they've reached. There's testimony if you want to listen to it. Once again, I would recommend what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask my accountant, hey, is this for real? You want to do this, or should I send this out? Would this be a good opportunity? So it talks about how to qualify and things like that. And some frequently asked questions. Do I have to repay it? How much do you charge? And things like that. Okay. Once again, hope you guys find this beneficial. Always trying to help you with good information that you like, that was helpful. And we're going to go from there. Once again, please subscribe to Podiatry Practice Mastery. There's a lot of tools there. My patient presentations are there, everything else. So happy to help. Send any messages down at podiatrypracticemastery.com if you have any questions. Okay, thanks, guys.